What were the blessings bestowed by Moses on the tribes of Benjamin and Joseph? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Deuteronomy on Walking Through the Bible. The glory of his cross. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to Deuteronomy 33. We're going to be reading from verses 12 to 17. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So Deuteronomy 33, beginning at verse 12. Of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him who shelters him all day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, blessed of the Lord is his land with the precious things of heaven, with the dew and the deep lying beneath, with the precious fruits of the sun, with the precious produce of the months, with the best things of the ancient mountains, with the precious things of the everlasting hills, with the precious things of the earth and its fullness, and the favor of him who dwelt in the bush. Let the blessing come on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him who was separate from his brothers. His glory is like a firstborn bull, and his horns like the horns of the wild ox. Together with them he shall push the peoples to the ends of the earth. They are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. In this chapter, we're talking about the blessings bestowed on Israel by Moses before his death. These blessings would, of course, come from God because God is the one who had promised to bless Israel. Each tribe is dealt with individually, but the tribe of Simeon is left out, most likely due to the prophecy of Jacob that he would be divided in Jacob and scattered in Israel, a prophecy that applied to Levi too. However, Levi had redeemed themselves to the point that God selected this tribe to serve him in the tabernacle in various ways. Coming to verses 12 to 17, we deal with the tribes that descend from Jacob's favorite two sons, that of Benjamin and Joseph. Recalling back to Genesis, we know that the reason that these two were Jacob's favorite sons, and that's because they were born by his favorite wife, Rachel. Joseph, of course, was sold by his brothers into slavery, while Benjamin, being the youngest, was protected by Jacob due to the fact that Jacob thought Joseph was dead, and he didn't want his only other son from Rachel to suffer the same fate. But just as Benjamin was favored by Jacob, he is also favored by the Lord. The Lord would protect this tribe. This will be clearly evident when we see where Benjamin is situated in Israel, in between the two major tribes of Israel, Ephraim and Judah. Benjamin is said to dwell between the shoulders of the Lord, meaning on his back, another testament to the protection of the Lord. In fact, for Benjamin being the size it is, it will play an outsized role in Israel, as Israel's first king would arise from Benjamin, and then Mordecai, one of the major players in the book of Esther, would also come from Benjamin. And then, of course, in the New Testament, the Apostle Paul would come from Benjamin too. The Lord truly did bless Benjamin, as Moses said he would here. This brings us to verse 13 and the tribes of Joseph. Joseph, mind you, is divided into Ephraim and Manasseh, but for the most part are treated as one tribe here. In terms of land, these two tribes would receive choice land in Israel, and in terms of amount, they would receive the most. And when you compare the blessings of Jacob and Moses upon these tribes, they are quite similar. The main difference is that Jacob's blessing emphasized the power that these two tribes would exert, while here in Deuteronomy, Moses emphasized the wealth that they would obtain. Both blessings ended up coming to pass, as we'll see as we continue throughout our Old Testament studies. Joshua, the next leader of Israel, would come from the tribe of Ephraim. Shiloh would be the capital of Israel for much of the first 4 centuries of Israel's habitation in Canaan. Shiloh would be in the tribe of Ephraim. The reason that Shiloh was the capital was because that is where the tabernacle was first situated before it was moved in the days of David and Solomon. Later, when the kingdom of Israel split into two, the northern nation of Israel was often referred to as Ephraim, showing us that God's blessings on the tribe of Joseph did in fact come to pass, both in terms of strength and wealth. That Ephraim would be preeminent is foreshadowed in verse 17 when Moses said, "They are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh." I find this statement telling, for at the time that Moses spoke those words, the tribe of Manasseh was quite a bit larger than Ephraim, and in terms of numbers had experienced the highest growth rate in Israel during the period of wilderness wandering. Remember, though, Jacob blessed Ephraim with the greater blessing in Genesis, and Moses did so here as well. So while Manasseh might have received more land, it would be Ephraim that would yield more power. Regardless, though, yet again, we see that the Lord is able to accomplish his will and keep his promises, something that we can rely on today. We'll continue with these blessings, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Deuteronomy chapter 33, verses 18 to 23, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time.
Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.